actually, should we say, trying to kick off from 2 years ago. We did the first one.
Exactly.
It took a while for the second one.
Exactly. Guys, welcome to the channel. To my right, to your left, Alex Stoos from Stoos Customs. If you haven't seen him, if you don't know who he is, I'll put a link in the description below to go check out his website. Today is not a trip down memory lane. It's not a history. It's not a how did you get into the stuff, because that story is massive.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to take a couple more episodes.
We don't have enough time.
A couple more episodes to unpack that.
Yeah.
But I think what's important is, I mean, even just you and me sitting here at the moment, we've had this idea of wanting to just talk about stuff. And there's always these topics that come up. I mean, every time I come sit here with you, we end up talking for like an hour and it just goes off on a tangent. And I just feel that energy needs to be captured.
100%. Like every time we've actually said we're going to capture it, and like we sat down 2 years ago and say we need to actually record this. And
2 years ago,
and we sat in we didn't even have this new premises.
No. So
all the coffee shop, all the showroom.
Exactly. Well, the coffee shop. Cheers, Alex.
Yeah,
cheers, Roo. So I think it's also important, you know, in terms of the direction of the video today. You know, it's been a very interesting journey for you.
Yeah.
I remember small beginnings in the workshop next door, working on some amazing projects. I mean, a turning point for you, for me, I think, was one of the last handball shows. When you had your bike, you finally finished the shop bike. I mean, let's first talk about that.
That was for the lightning bolts in town, Cape Town, and it was a bike that I've been working on for, I think it was four years, because where I got the inspiration was the bike that got sent to the Golden Bolt in LA, and I got inspired by like Maxwell Hazen, and you know, I thought I created something amazing, and I went to go see what these oaks were building, and I was just like, okay, shit, I need to go back to the drawing board. It was just an eye-opener.
Yeah, and a big turning point for you.
Yeah, I think that's actually, you know, I realized, like, you know, you develop skills and you think you're getting somewhere and you're good, and then you just see someone's work and you're just like, damn, I need to go back to the drawing board, and it inspires you just to do better.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a turning point in my career, was the Golden Bolt, and I saw what was out there, you know. And then I came back and just head down, and we've just, you know, just evolved. I actually said this to my dad last week. I said, you know, I always dreamt I wanted a custom bike shop, I wanted a shop, but at no point did I realize we'd be sitting
where we
here
are right now.
at 1,000 square meters, from storage to custom bikes to a coffee shop to hosting events, working with Monster, working with Motul. Like,
you got a motorcycle sales department too?
We got a sales department, and I think you gotta slap yourself and like, is this actually real?
And I mean, it's been a big challenge, because also from the back end of a pandemic, really. And to be honest, like, you kind of started in the pandemic.
Worst time to grow, actually. And this has actually been, but you know what the thing was, like, it's a tough industry to be in. I mean, all industries are tough, but the custom bike game around the world is tough. Yet alone to try to do something in South Africa is like if someone said, start a custom bike shop, I said, you must be joking.
Crazy.
It's a ridiculous idea. But I think what the turning point is I had already put in 10 years of my life when the pandemic hit. And I was like, either now, if I close up shop now, what is it all for? It's a waste. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to give it all or nothing, and that's what we've been doing. And ever since then, we have now just built it up. I mean, we started off 3 years ago. There was 3 people. Now we are 11.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to your passion.
Yeah.
And I mean, not just the shop and the facility, and we're definitely going to highlight that more for you guys in the upcoming episodes, because there's a lot to talk about.
There is,
There really is a lot of stuff.
We can end up rambling about
exactly,
so much,
but also the brands that you've been involved with. I mean, Monster for one, Motul. How did that come about? I mean, that's also an interesting story.
And you know, the thing is, you know, like overnight success, 13 years in the making. You know, you just,
and I think that's key, because everybody sees you. They see, wow, look how great Alex is doing, but they don't understand the amount of work that's gone in prior to that to get to where you are now.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it now, I've been doing this now, I've had the shop now going on to 12, 13 years, but before that was 4 years before that, another 2 years before that. So you add it all up, it's 20 years nearly that I've just been, I mean, since I was like 14 years old, I've just been, because I knew at 14, I'm going over to America. I want to be a technician, and I've just been grafting towards that. And then when I was able to go to America at 18, I never ever thought it would turn into this.
Yeah.
But it's been 20 years in a sense, just grafting.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you've been overseas recently. You did a couple of tours in the States.
Yeah. So back to the lightning bolt. So Alan from Revival Cycles was one of the judges. And he saw my bike and he pulled me aside. And my bike didn't win the event, but I won so much more. Meeting Alan, and then he saw my bike. He's like, dude, I want your bike on display at the handbuilt show. So I was like, fuck, it's amazing. And anyway, it was quite a story getting it there. And now it went there, met the most incredible people, and what felt good was I was actually now on the level. I was now.
You were with them.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was in a race that I could stay, that like I had a chance of winning and competing in. Previously, I went in blind.
Yeah.
And now it's actually cool when you get to a place and you're like, wow, like not trying to fluff my feathers or anything, but you look at the other bikes and you're like, I have earned the right to be here. And it was cool.
I mean, don't you think, like, that's an interesting point you make, because in the industry in general, I mean, let's be real. Everybody looks up to the States. Everyone looks up to big builders, maybe in Europe and in England, for that matter, or the UK. But nobody ever really says, oh, there's these guys from South Africa. Man, these guys are incredible. And there's a lot of other great builders in this country.
100%,
No doubt.
The talent is actually insane here.
Exactly, but I think it's great that I mean, as a South African, getting into that international market and being recognized as a peer.
Yeah.
That's something that we aspire to do, but in actual fact, we kind of play ourselves down a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And also, I think because we kind of like, with technology and stuff, but we're kind of secluded from the world. So for us to get parts, so for us to build is so expensive because, okay, we've now manufactured a lot of our parts, but still to get it here. So when you end up building stuff, it just becomes next level expensive compared to America. You pick up a phone and it's
delivered overnight.
Same in Europe. But it doesn't work like that. So to actually like see it through, it's very difficult because it's so easy to get despondent because let's be real. I mean, to have, like I said previously, to have a custom bike shop in the world at this moment is insane.
It's insane.
Now to have it across the pond, here, I mean, our target market is so small.
Super small, very niche.
But now we're on the level where, the saying, you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Now most of my clients are international. So, like, I love having the shop here, but now we're looking at exporting bikes, sending it overseas. So it's...
And then coming back to the parts thing, I mean, that's also very interesting because that's what sets you apart from quite a few other places is everything's built that you need is in-house.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, we make it.
Exactly.
And you've got the tooling, you've got the machinery, everything's here.
We've got the knowledge, we've got the team. And I think that's what is also so amazing is like now I've also built up a team. So if I got an idea, I can now do things like this. Like where previously we wanted to do this, but I honestly did not have the time to sit down and chat with you because even now on a Saturday, remember you'll see me now, I would be throwing spanners.
Yeah. 100%.
Because I wanted to build bikes.
No, you got to catch up. You got to get out there, So there's that behind the scenes hard work that needs to be put in.
Yeah.
So you got to push to get to where you want to be.
Exactly. And now I'm fortunate where now, while we're sitting here, I've got the machine guys designing our new builds for Triumph and the Monster bike.
Which we're going to talk about really soon.
Yeah. So all in all, man, like it's like surreal. It really is. I mean, like our journey, how we've crossed paths and where we are now today it's phenomenal. I mean, it's really cool.
It's been a cool journey. I think back to when the coffee table book came out,
I think actually, you know what, bro? I think that actually was like
a catalyst.
Yeah. Like now there's proof.
Yeah.
I'm like this Facebook.
You're out there.
Exactly.
You're on something that's physical,
tangible,
that people spend money to because they want that book.
Yeah. And that's, I think that might have been the catalyst. Is like before the bike was finished, that I sent to the handbuilt show, it was already.
We just had that shot from the workshop, but I'll stick that up now. But where it was just standing under these like really eerie lights.
Yeah.
And it looked so cool.
Yeah. And before it was done, it already was documented and people wanted it in a book. So I think that already gave me the energy, like if I'm not even done, and someone wants it in. I mean, obviously you captured freaking amazingly, but
Thanks, Rudy.
I think it just was like, okay, I need to see this through, and that everything that I have done, it's actually going somewhere.
Yes.
So yeah, it's actually true. And you see small accomplishments like that, you forget.
Yeah, you easily forget about it. It gets lost in the noise.
Exactly, and it's so good to actually sit back and like that's what I say. I didn't want to fluff my feathers, but it's actually good to just sit back and
reflect
and appreciate what you have achieved as a human. Like at the end of the day, like I was talking about now, I'm going to California next week to have my bike at the Motor Beach Classic, the Rolling Sands.
Man.
And someone said,
that's going to be insane.
Yeah, and someone said, why are you doing it? I said, you know what, for myself.
Yeah.
I said, I've always wanted to hang out with Rolling Sands. I've always wanted to.
But why not? That bike needs to be there. It needs to be amongst the others. Because that essentially was what justifies it, what solidifies the brand.
Exactly. And now it gets to, I mean, what a show. So it's a flat tracker style that I built, and now it gets to be on display at Roland Sands flat track event on the beach. So in a week, literally now in 2 weeks, I'm going to be sitting on Huntington Beach having my bike displayed.
So jealous, man. That's going to be awesome. Guys, we'll come back now. We're going to finish up our coffees.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about some interesting other projects that you're busy with.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few.
Yeah.
But we'll see which
we'll
one.
Finish up the coffee. We'll be back now.
Yeah. Cheers.
We've been talking about just what's been happening in the last little while, but I remember a very clear conversation that you and I had exactly 2 years ago. And my argument was, there's such cool work that you've been doing on other brands. Because I mean, predominantly you've been working on a lot of Harley Davidson stuff. Because that's just where you were at, where your knowledge, was at the time.
And that's what got me into the industry, actually.
Yeah, exactly. But then my argument was, why aren't the other brands seeing this?
Yeah.
And why are they not giving you an opportunity? And it's now happened.
Yeah, now we're getting there.
So without letting too much of the cat out the bag, you got 2 really cool projects you're working on.
Yeah.
With a really cool brand that I love, really.
Yeah.
I really dig this brand, you know I do.
We got approached by Monster Energy so we built a bike for them 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've been doing work with them on the side, and now it's actually turned into something a lot bigger than I could have imagined. And so we got the opportunity to build 2 insane bikes for them. And luckily I got the blank canvas. They're like, Stoos, whatever you want to build, it's up to you. So I had the option of which brand I want to use.
The dream spec.
Exactly, which bike I want to use.
Yeah.
So actually I was sitting in the coffee shop and I was staring into the motorcycle vault, and there was the Triumph Bobber we built for a client of ours, Anthony, last year.
Yes.
So it was just sitting here and we made it really cool, with the 170 in the front, very Thornton 100.
Yeah.
That was definitely when the inspiration came.
Yeah.
Anyway, the client came to us and that's what he wanted. So the bike was sitting here and I was admiring it through the window. And I was like, boom.
That's what you want.
I need 2 bobbers. So I phoned Bruce at Triumph. I said, this is what I'm doing. What can we do? And he actually he hooked me up and gave me a great deal on 2 awesome bobbers.
Yeah.
And now we are building 2 kitted out bobbers.
I remember the day we actually shot that motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's still one of my wallpapers on my PC because I just love it.
Well, now you're gonna have to change it.
Now we got 2 more to do. And that's great, and you've also done not to forget that insane R18 that you did. I mean, and that's exactly what we were talking about in the previous segment. You forget about these things.
Exactly. I actually, you have to remind yourself of these small little accomplishments. I'm and you know what's actually really cool? So now you've been given these blank canvases, brand new out the box. Already taking angle grinder to a brand new bike.
Can you imagine?
I had the guy from Triumph. He's like, bro, you must get so nervous drilling into a brand new bike or cutting the tank. I said,
you're like, used to it by now.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. I said, but the first time I was, and then the second time. I'm so excited for this. So we're speccing it out, Olin suspension.
Any more carbon bits coming? Because I did like the covers that you did on the R18.
The R18.
I know that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And with all R&D, there's always the headaches that go around that.
Yeah.
But let's not forget also the amazing BST wheels that you guys are putting on these motorcycles. And there's such a great brand to be involved. A great brand.
Exactly. And the cool thing is crazy thing was like, I always like, I can't wait to get a set of BST.
Yeah.
And even last year, I did 1 set of BST. I think I've already done 6 sets of BST. Like this week, we've had 3 sets of BSTs come to the workshop.
Insane.
And like, you also take it like for granted in a sense, because I used to get so excited. I still do.
Yeah.
But I would like unwrap it like it's this delicate baby. And now I like open the box and I'm like, whoa.
Oh my God, exactly. But what's nice is a South African company as well,
Yeah.
so proudly South African. And the first time I saw BST was, I think it was actually in the shop.
Okay,
You
yeah.
had one here, and that was one of the first ones you got.
It was on my project bike.
And then,
yes, in the
and then
States.
shortly after that, I went to Australia.
Yeah.
And I went to Phillip Island.
Yeah.
And I went. They actually got one of Kiana's bikes, Arch motorcycles,
Yes,
was there.
yes.
You know what's so crazy? So I'm walking around at the camera and I'm taking photos, and I walk to the Arch and I'm like calling my wife. I'm like, hey, check here. That's the same wheels that Alex uses. It's a BST. It's proudly South African. And I love that. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we're on an international stage,
Yeah.
and there's really famous people that tap into
Yeah.
the South African market
Yeah.
that people otherwise don't know about. And
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of the good focuses for our videos going forward, is highlighting not just motorcycles, but
Yeah.
maybe a few cool car projects,
But I mean,
cool brands, personalities, and people that's just so
Passionate.
authentically passionate about stuff. And that's South African, that they never get the limelight, they never get the coverage they want.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I often talk about it, that there's so many people that, you know, we should get this guy in or have a chat to him, or we should talk about this, talk about that. I'm just looking at the storage here.
Yeah.
I can already see 5, 6, 7 motorcycles that needs to be lined up that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
You know?
We should actually maybe even get like one of the owners in. I mean, like we've got bikes, so the owner, 5 of them belong to one guy.
That's insane.
So it'd be quite cool just to hear his story. Like, how did you?
And I think that's the key for me is, you know, like your story is an awesome journey.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see how it's developed over the years, you know, and the momentum that it's going.
Yeah.
But I think the key here is passion is a big part of it.
100%.
And the passion drives the business, and it drives how much you're going to put into it to make it work.
Yeah, and dedication. Like, passion is freaking awesome. But yeah, it's dedication. Like, there's a lot of days I'm like, fuck, why did I choose this industry? I should be working on the rigs. It's too easy. You know what I mean?
Easy money.
Easy money. But I had this conversation with someone today, and you know, at the end of the day, it's great to, like, obviously money, you know, makes everything a lot better. But you know, there's also a price to, you know, to happiness, in a sense, where you know you have all of this, but there's a lot of, I don't know what do you say, that comes with it, like stress, if you want to call it that. And the easy route would be for just to work on the rigs.
Yeah, 100%.
But I would never be happy. I would never
Exactly.
wake up with a smile. Like,
You won't be you.
Exactly. And I mean, last week when we set up for Drift City, me and Jay were loading up the bikes, and it was the most insane weather.
It was insane.
Yeah, getting blown away. But there, me and him are like smiling, laughing, and it's
Getting
pissing down.
windswept
And
rain.
you're like, I fucking love motorcycles.
and little do we know, an hour later, it's just floods.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you guys met at home. I mean, I messaged you later that night.
Dude,
I don't know how you met at home.
Dude, we were driving, actually, so it was Jay was driving, I was in the middle, and Hans next to us. And we all sitting there like cleaning off the window because it's just like, it was like World War III out there with the storm. So,
It's insane. It's insane.
but I think it's key, is like you said, is passion. I think we get people in here, it actually doesn't matter what the product is. If someone is passionate behind it, you're automatically interested.
Yes.
You know, it can be the most simplest thing. It's like a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the owner's telling a story. If you can see he's invested and he loves what he does, you want to hear the story.
100%. 100%.
So that's the key. I
That's
think
gonna
passion.
go.
Let's just find oaks that love what they do.
Now, guys, if you're keen to be on the vlog with us, you want to chat about anything that we're passionate about at the same time, then hit us up. Link in the description below. And,
Yeah, maybe even
let's
just give us some ideas of what you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys want to see more of certain bits on the channel, look, we're going to keep this organic.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's no format, there's no itinerary. I don't have a list that I'm working off.
And we don't have enough going on, so we may as well start a podcast.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, coming up for the next couple of weeks, you got the trip overseas, you got the bikes you need to finish.
I've got 4 bikes I've got to finish. I leave in 2 weeks, then I come back and we've got a back-to-back event. We've got the Kalani Motor Show, then we've got the King of the Whip in Joburg, then we've got our birthday bash. So in the next like 2 months, it's like 6 gear tapped.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way.
What?
Flat tap.
Yeah. But I would have it no other way.
Yeah, 100%,
I'd have
100%.
it.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. This is our first episode. We got a couple of amazing stuff coming up. A couple of things that are penciled in. We won't call it planned, but it's penciled in. Alex, thanks for making the time.
Great, thank you for your time.
Absolutely insane schedule.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the next episode. And I think then we're going to start maybe highlighting and see how far those Triumph builds are going.
Yeah, and then we'll snap Throttle sneak peek in. Can't give too much away, but we'll share some with you.
Leave it for the launch.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay locked on, guys. Smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.